welcome to
Happy
Brocante
Monday.
and Bergamot, otherwise known as B&B Mondays.
B&B.
B&B. Brocante and Bergamot.
And Bergamot.
Antiques and tea.
Yes.
We're going to
Except
talk.
I don't have tea today.
I do. What do you have?
I've got some Moscato
Ooh.
in a fancy glass because, I haven't had much cause to celebrate of late. So
Well, cheers.
I will celebrate B&B Monday.
Cheers to having. And is this the clink, clink, clink? The Cambridge glass that you shared on your YouTube short?
Mm-hmm.
It's so beautiful.
It's Cambridge Candlelight. And I absolutely love it. So let me tell you. Hey, Beth. I could never, ever afford Cambridge Candlelight, a full set. But I have like 52 pieces because I bid on them in an auction. And all I could see was a picture of clear glassware.
So you didn't even...
I did not know. But I got there and I saw this and I was like, I know this is special. I mean, because first of all, like I was packing. Yeah, I had like, I think I have 6 of everything, but some things I had like 8 of. So Beth got a couple. But can you hear that?
Yes.
The ting? It's got beverage in it, so it doesn't ting as loudly.
Well, Susan.
But what I love is that the candlelight portion. So it's got the little candle here, but I think surrounding it, which is supposed to be the candlelight, it looks like a spider web to me.
Oh, that's awesome. Well, welcome,
Sheila and Susan
and Sheila. Hi, Sheila. Welcome. What are you drinking? Are you having a cocktail or a tea, or what do you ladies
have? Are you having good wine, Sheila? I have not yet taken Sheila's advice on finding good wine, but I'm just now able to stomach wine, so I'm just taking it easy.
Yes, I don't like a ton of wine. There's a few ones that Scott will buy that I like. One of them is Four Hands. I think it's a Pinot Grigio that I like.
Well, during my birthday week,
slushy.
Slushy. How about a wine slushy? We have a wine and jazz festival here every fall, and one of the vendors always has wine slushies. And
I've never had one of those. I have heard of them.
They're yummy.
But
I'm not, Beth. I haven't, this is the first glass of wine or any type of alcohol I've had in, over 2 weeks. So it's only 2 sips, not 2 glasses. Yeah. It's good, but it's good stuff.
Yes.
Joyce is here.
Joyce! Yay!
Well, I was just saying, so I'm taking my birthday week off, and I'm hoping to do a tiny bit of traveling. Not just like a day trip here or there. And I think I want to go to Frederick, Maryland, because there's some of my favorite antique malls in Frederick, Maryland. It's the very last day in September. It's my birthday. And which isn't too far from Joyce. And then I got to figure out how far I am from Sheila, because I'd love to hang out with both of them. So
how fun. That would be awesome.
Come meet our friends in person.
Yeah, that'd be so great.
So that's all my thing. And I have decided this is my manifesting for the next year of my life. I'm turning 37. So it will be, wait for it. This is a nerdy joke. Are you ready for it?
Yes.
The prime of my life. Because it's the prime number.
I like it. Go with it.
Oh, Sheila, you're not that far from Frederick. I knew you weren't too far. And I think Joyce is a couple hours from Frederick. So,
well, when I can organize a trip to Tennessee, you can bet I want to go see Susan down in Lebanon, Texas. I just want to see her. I want to visit you, Susan.
well, Tennessee is quite far from Texas.
I mean, Lebanon, Tennessee. Sorry. Did I say Texas?
Oh, okay. Well, there's a
Lebanon.
Lebanon in Texas too,
Sorry.
but there's also a Lebanon, Ohio, and a Lebanon. There's a lot of Lebanons around.
Yeah.
The last week of September, Joyce, we'll have to talk. We'll have to find a day that works for everybody because I just need a reason to see good people. So, Heather is in Colorado.
Yes, and my birthday's in September too, but I'm not turning a prime number.
I'm excited. So, I'm so excited to have something to look forward to outside of a new roof.
Yes.
Hey, Tennessee ain't far from me, so I mean, I'm sure I could swing that if I can find people to medicate my furry children.
Yeah. Scott made some pumpkin muffins, so I'm sneaking some crumbs.
That's one thing I like. I mean, I miss a lot from my glutinous life, but one of the things I miss the most is my mom's pumpkin cookies.
Ooh.
They're soft.
Yeah.
And
almost like
they're like a muffin, but a cookie. Yeah. So good.
Yeah. So yeah. And Scott,
Susan's in her prime too.
Woohoo!
This is my new motto because I'll have it at 37, again at 41, then 47. You know.
Yeah.
I just also have a thing for prime numbers. It's just if I play the lottery, oftentimes it's a lot of prime numbers. I mean, it hasn't worked for me, but I keep trying. you wait 2 years, 67. You're only a couple of years away from a prime. Yes, it's only divisible by 1 in itself. Therefore, it is a prime number. I'm a nerd. In case you didn't know. We're all prime. Fabulous and prime. That's what it is. Well, happy Monday, everybody.
Happy
If
Monday.
you can't tell, I am feeling a whole lot better. I am pretty sure I had the flu last week. I had no way of going to get a test, so I just self-medicated. Because they would give me like Tamiflu and send me home, so.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, Beth. Math prime numbers.
Yes. A very happy, merry unbirthday to everyone.
Very merry unbirthday.
To you.
To you, to me, to me.
Woohoo! So, do you want to start segments first, or did you want to do...
Let's do segments first, because my quote kind of goes with what I have.
Okay. All right.
Hello, Angela and Dave Schrad. How are you?
It's the Shrades. Hi. Or Shrad. Shrade.
Shrad?
I say Shrades.
Is it Shrade or Shrad? Tell us.
I don't know how it's...
It's always good to see another Angela. And we have Sheila's gallery wall. She sent me a picture. And, we talk about gallery walls. Sheila did it. She said it helped her a lot during the pandemic, having pictures of the beach, her happy place.
Yes.
Your gallery wall can be whatever you want it to be, but it should make you happy.
I completely agree with you. And that is one thing I do not have that I would like to add is I've been wanting to add a painting of a coastal beach, and I just haven't found one. I haven't found one in the right, like either I see one and it's too expensive or I haven't found it yet, but that is something
Shroud.
that I would like to add is like not huge, but I want a nice one of those beach wave kind of paintings.
I have a little tiny one. So something I started a few years ago. When it comes to souvenirs of my trips, I allow myself two kinds of souvenirs. Something tiny for my tiny things, shells that are still not done, and something I'll use. You know, not just like a T-shirt or whatever.
Uh-huh.
So one of the last times we went to the beach, we found an artist market that was happening, and there was this woman doing little tiny paintings, you know, that come on a little tiny
Oh,
easel.
yes.
So it's the beach, but it's got the baby turtles going into the water.
Mm-hmm.
And then I found a potter who made this awesome platter, also with the baby turtles on it.
Mm-hmm.
So again, something tiny for my shelf, and then something I can actually use. So that was y'all know it's tangent hour around here, so
Yeah.
I need to also work on the Fancy Lady Gallery wall because if I keep adding to it, I'll never hang it. So I need to assess and then lay them out and just get them on the wall. So
right, yeah, at least get like a basis that you want to have like a formation, and then where you can like add on from there where you would want to.
Which I've discovered, I think I'm putting the Fancy Ladies right outside the bedroom and not in the bedroom. So they'll be like my, what is it? Oh, that's awesome. What was the name for the ladies of the boudoir? A maid à la chambre.
Oh, a maid à la chambre?
I think that's what it was.
Chambermaid?
Yeah, but like they help the queen get dressed and stuff. But
or like ladies in waiting, don't they do that too, or no?
Yeah, some of them. But so I'm gonna have them like guarding the entrance.
Oh, that's so cute.
I'm pretty sure that's what's gonna happen. That could change. But I love this.
That's the beauty of decorating. You can always change it around. And
the texture.
Okay, and I know we've talked about shells before, but we haven't really touched on specifically coral. And when I saw the picture here in the fireplace, bam, it had me. I loved it. I had never seen it before. You know, I love it when I see like an idea I've never seen before.
Oh, Susan.
And coral is beautiful, and really
there's so many types.
Yes, and a great thing about it is that you can't get it new because it's protected. It would be illegal. So if you're going to collect coral, I'm pretty sure it has to be vintage, which I like that about it. You know, like it's definitely something where you would have to find it in an antique store or something. I don't think you can. Can you get coral now, or?
I'm not sure. I have a piece of coral. Actually, I have a piece of petrified coral that I found like amongst rocks. It's a little piece of brain coral.
Oh yeah,
it's one of my favorite things.
Yeah, and I have seen some really beautiful
do it, Angela.
Scenes. Let me see.
Do it.
Yes. Yes, we love
and they should be fancy oil paintings with
we love the lady
holding random things.
Which is great because that will go perfectly. It will segue well to my history highlight later. But I just wanted to say, when it comes to coral, I have seen. I didn't find a picture for this slide, but some people will do some really interesting things with their coral collection where they will tint it somehow, or like just very lightly dye it, like in a very like light, like I've seen a collection where it's like all light pale blues in like this French cabinet, and it's really pretty.
Well,
I
I
love
mean,
it.
coral's extremely porous, so I wonder
Yeah.
if like you just like soaked it in tinted water or something
Yes.
like that.
I think that's what because it's the ones that I've seen that I liked were really light, very subtle. So that's why I
And
was
then if
thinking,
you don't like it, you can always bleach it because
right.
that's in essence what happened to it in reality.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. But these I thought were beautiful collections. I mean, just so aesthetically pleasing. You have the nature, you have the design and shape and texture.
yeah,
I love it.
texture is what gets me. It's just like so tactile.
Yes, I agree. Do I
Well,
need to?
my collection is
Oh, shoot.
I got
I'll hands off. I'll do hands off.
so I finally hung more of my lanterns in my little corner of contemplation in the boudoir. So I think there's 11 or 12 lanterns in this picture.
Oh my
Um,
goodness.
because there's two
Oh,
on
I
the
see one on the. I see.
there's two on the side table. There's one on the little faux table. 1, 2, 3,
Yes.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11.
One,
Yes, there's
two, three,
11
four,
because
17.
I have rechargeable candles that I put in there, and I went and I put them all in, and then one was dead. I was like, oh, I hope I
Oh,
don't have
okay.
12 lanterns.
I was
So,
going to say I counted 10, and then I think the what that's at the far left where the light is that the one that I missed because it's
the
dark.
green one.
Yeah, to the left of the green one.
Well, there's wait 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Maybe there's only 10. There's only 10, but it doesn't.
Okay.
I have 4 others in my dining room, so but these are the ones
Wow.
that are in. They're the bigger ones, the ones I find more interesting, and then the one, of course, this is one of my favorite shelves ever. That's hanging in the corner here, and that's actually what they call a lanthorn shelf. Um, it was often part of a cabinet, but this was one that hung on the wall, and it had mirrors to help reflect the light
Is that
of
what's in
a
the
lantern.
corner? That's what's in the corner, that
Yeah,
shelf?
yeah.
Yeah, I love that.
And it's a dark wood that has a lighter wood inlay in it, and I found it. Hey, Jan. I found it in an antique store in Amish country, and it was like laying on its side underneath a bunch of stuff, and I saw it and I was like, oh my god, I need to have those. My mom was like, what are you gonna do? This was 8 years ago. So like,
Wow.
I had nowhere to put it. I was like, I don't care. I
Yeah,
will never find another one of these things.
I know it.
Um,
I know it.
and then often they had some of them had glass enclosures. So this was more for like an oil lamp that had a chimney to protect it.
Okay.
Others had like a glass enclosure, so breezes, etc., wouldn't blow out your candles or lamps. So it's my favorite corner. You know what would the only thing that would improve this corner?
A tiny things cabinet.
My balloon chair. That's not mine and is gone, but it's fine. This is my lantern collection, and will I add more to it? It's possible. It all started with that Moravian Star like lantern that I got when I worked at TJ Maxx, which was my second real job ever. And I hid it from everyone, and then when it was the day we got extra money off, I bought it.
That's the way to go. Yes. I love it. It's very eclectic, and I love super warm and moody. I love it. It's great.
Yeah, I tried to do like a little video so you could get close up on the details of them, but I couldn't figure out how to add it to a slide. So
yeah.
Thanks, Joyce. The color of the pine is growing on me, but I'm still on the fence about whether I want to lighten it or darken it. But there's that.
Yeah, I hear you with the not knowing what you want to do with stuff. It's like I think I want to change it, but what would I change it to? I don't know.
Exactly.
All right, and I added antique copper molds to celebrating collections. I have a very small collection of these. I have 2 little round ones, like the close-up picture, and then a little baby one, and then kind of like a square one. And I just think there is something about the brown, the deeper brown of the antique molds. I love the shape. And
the patina.
the patina is so wonderful. And it makes me think of, a wonderful French kitchen, possibly in a chateau. And so I like those. I definitely, when I can find one at the right price, I will grab it.
Yeah. No. And those are like, they're thicker, the older ones, aren't they? Because the new ones are that shiny, bright, super thin.
Yeah, I could, but they're a little heavier, a little weightier, and I definitely go for the ones that have, you can tell it's copper, but it's definitely has that aged browner look, less of the bright orange.
Yeah.
That if it were shined up, it would be.
Mm-hmm. All right. Our next segment is also
I just picked one picture.
This looks haunted.
For interiors, and yes,
I like it.
Exactly. But the theme of it was just, to me, I said, this has got to have its own aesthetic name. And I think it should be either it's rustic, but it's specifically French. So like rustic Baroque or rustic something. But it's a very specific kind of look, and I was into it.
I like it. Yeah. It's great. It just, I feel like this house is on a moor, And then just off where that light is coming from are double doors. Mm-hmm. And you can go grab your bonnet and huff off across the fields when your love has deserted you.
You see, Beth, I'm not against kind of. Victorian grunge is actually a really cool name. Did you just make that up, or is that an aesthetic that actually
Victorian grunge is a thing, but I also think it's like dissipated manner.
Yeah, yes. But like dissipated French manner. There's not a lot of English here. And I love English, but this is specifically French to me.
It's great.
But yeah, I think it's great too.
I just want to light those candles. I want to see this in the dark.
Yeah.
With a fire, sitting with my tiny sonnet book.
Yes. Yes. 2 sonnets.
Cheers. And now, is mine an interior or is it an exterior? Because it's a treehouse.
It's a treehouse.
Now this is in Okinawa, Japan. And this guy and his daughter made these. So this is actually a treehouse resort. So if you have the ability, you can go stay here if you would like. So this is what the exterior looks like. Here you can have a little party. So the reason I had to do this is because the reason I love tree houses can be traced back to one movie, and that is Star Wars, Return of the Jedi, the Ewok houses.
Yes. Oh my gosh. I mean, I remember watching Return of the Jedi as a kid, and that whole tree village in the sky idea I had never been introduced to before. So it was completely new to me. And the impression as a child, it was vast.
So I saw this picture and I was like, it just went on to my I need to save this.
Yeah.
Some of them do have elevators, Joyce, or like you can sit on a rope and they'll pull you up. Something like that,
Kind of like a
dumbwaiter,
but for a person.
But the thing I love, so this is a sustainable resort as well. So they're very focused on, limited footprint, to disturb the environment. And then the
Compostable toilet.
inside is
Oh
just
my
so
God.
clean.
That's
And
inside the treehouse?
that's the inside of the treehouse. And it's just, I mean, it's very Japanese, just the way it's laid out
Wow.
and the color palette. But that wall of windows, like, I just want to lay there on those pillows and read,
Wow.
eat some fruit,
Yeah.
have some tea, and just,
This
never leave.
this surprised me. I was not expecting.
That's why I didn't put this picture first.
You showed me like that little conversation area with like a little
That's the party deck.
the party deck, and then you threw this at me.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yep. And then, of course,
Hi, Kathy.
the picture that really grabbed me is this next one, which is the treehouse at night. Yeah. Does it look magical?
Yes.
It's like I am a fairy. This is my house.
What is this wondrous place before my eyes? What is this?
It's the treeful treehouse.
Sheila, I never expected this. Look at this.
I know. So they have two, I think, tree houses on the resort. I think this one is known as like the Spiral. And the creator, his name was Satoru Kikugawa. And he and his daughter did a lot of like the decor for it. Her name is Maha. But yeah, wow. It's just glorious. Because have you ever watched the show Treehouse Masters?
No.
I think it was on the Discovery Channel or Animal Planet. Actually, I think it was on Animal Planet. But there's a guy, his business is building tree houses. And so, funny. This is a funny story. So, years ago, I purchased a plot of land from my grandfather with the hopes of, putting a house on it at some point in time. It's still a hope at some point. But my sister has the plot of land in front of my property, and my niece and nephew live there. And in between our two properties, there's this huge, I call it a ravine or a crevasse. Mm-hmm. And I said, I want to have a tree house. I was like, with a zip line, and then you guys can zip line over to my house and visit. And my nephew was 3 or 4. And he's like, when are you building your tree house? I was like, it's going to be a long time, buddy. I was like, that costs a lot of money.
Yeah.
And I totally forgot about that conversation. And then he came one day, we were out and about, and he found a dime on the ground. And he comes up to me and he gives it to me. He's like, this is for your tree house. He was so serious. My little buddy. I love him.
Aww.
So, yeah. Anyway, again, tangents. That's what's happening today. So that's my interior exterior, and I love it. And
I love this.
But now that I have a house, a tree house studio.
That would be really awesome.
Could be good. Mm-hmm. Oh, the Shrons. Watch, yeah. Pete Nelson is the name of the Treehouse Master guy, and it's.
Oh, okay.
I mean, it's one of those things that you can just put on, and let all the episodes run, and it's just great to have on in the background. So.
Wow.
Your media must.
That's incredible.
Which I've not heard of her.
I'm blown away by the tree houses. Well, this gal is just amazing. What is her name? Oh crap.
She's Parisian farm girl.
But she lives in Michigan, Wisconsin area, somewhere up
Midwest.
There. Yeah. And she bought this home and has completely, with her and her husband, redone it to try to get it very close to a Parisian type of like a
French country,
maison, like
mm-hmm.
like an older maison, like a smaller French home.
Maison Grand.
Yeah, and she not only has a wonderful YouTube channel where she will touch on things. She'll take you to flea markets and antique stores, which is one of my favorites. She will, do the interior, share the interior developments as she works on them. She has this garden that she's been developing. Sometimes she'll do recipes. She is a mother of, I think, 5. She homeschools. She also has a podcast, Homemaker Chic, with a friend of hers. She has started a magazine called Old World Society, and it's one of those things where she kind of has started a membership, and she has now started taking her members from Old World Society. I think she's just done one so far, but what she did was she organized a antiquing flea market trip where she got, the rooms at the inn and everyone met, and she had all these goodie bags for them. And like they took a shuttle or something.
Are we doing this next year?
Yeah. Like these members of her, cause they're like, it's kind of like a patron type of a thing. And they all they caravanned somewhere to like a flea market together. And she basically like had this experience, and she wants to do more of these things, but she's so the ambition, and not just the ambition, but the execution. She blows my mind. She really does. She is very enjoyable. She's very enjoyable to watch. She's very sincere. I highly recommend her YouTube channel.
Same, Joyce.
What?
She'd like to be an overachiever.
Yeah, yes, I'd
like just to be an achiever. Thanks. It's just achieve.
Yeah, but she is everything I wish I was. You know what I mean?
You can be.
Yeah, she's totally like my goals of everything, basically. So yeah, and I can't think of her name. I don't know why, but anyway,
it'll come to you.
Parisian Farm Girl.
2 minutes after we log on.
Right. But yes, recommend. Okay. So what did you do for media?
What did I do? I just found this channel. It's called History Hit. They're shortish videos. I mean, 25 minutes, 16 minutes. But they're historians that just dig into a topic or a place. And so, I mean, I love documentaries. I love learning about specific places and or, historical things. And the one at the bottom is the one that sucked me in, and it's inside of Jane Austen's house. Mm-hmm. So this Lucy Worsley, which I guess she's been on some like BBC things, walks you through Jane Austen's house and like paints a picture of her later life. And it's, but they're bite size because, I don't have time to sit down and watch a 2-hour documentary. I just don't. But there's something on this channel for everybody. Like there's military things. They're like testing out a cannon from like the 1800s. There's like,
that's cool.
Yeah. So, but these are the ones, that I found interesting. Like,
okay.
about Roman baths and, how they were used.
Yes.
And, or inside of Windsor Castle, the things like that. So, and of course, a lot of these people have accents, which I absolutely adore. So I'm good with that.
Yeah.
So, if you like history, and you want, I think they have a few hundred videos. So whatever you're interested in, I'm sure you can find something to dig into.
I definitely,
on this channel.
Yeah, I definitely want to go inside Windsor Castle.
Yeah.
I want to go there. So that'll be the first one I watch.
So that's my media must for today.
Yes. And I know the chat is talking about Laura Caldwell. I know that she she has started doing similar things where she organizes a trip and everyone goes like over in Europe, which I think it's amazing to have the faith in your organizational skills
Oh, I could organize that.
But to have like strangers come with you and feel like you can offer them an experience that is worthy.
Do you know who makes a great trip and or party planner? Somebody who sees catastrophes at every single corner and prepares for those catastrophes. So digress. You can tell I'm feeling better because I'm talking.
Well, maybe that could be, since we've brought this up now, maybe that could be a kind of goal for our Brocante. Oh yeah, our Brocante Bergamot watchers here. Like maybe we could, try to organize a trip in maybe next fall or something. I don't know. It might be a fun goal to.
It'd be cool. I'll start researching.
Okay.
I'll see. Because we'd have to go somewhere that fits the Brocante feel.
Right. Like, I don't know. I've never been to Brimfield.
So
I know it's supposed to
in Frederick, there's a place called Chartreuse & Co., which is like they do like a big flea market and they have barns and stuff like that.
Oh.
And then nearby, there's a winery that rents out its house.
Ooh.
I know because I had a night reserved there the year I tried to die. They refunded it.
Okay.
So I've always wanted to go back, but mental notes are made. So we'll see.
Yeah.
Stay tuned.
Look at us with these lofty plans.
You got to put it out there.
I know. That's why I did it. I'm like, well, maybe.
So, our next segment.
Okay. All right, folks.
Which I know nothing about this person, so I'm excited.
Good. I am glad you're excited. So, for the history highlight, I have selected a female, obviously, portrait painter from the late 18th century. Her name is Elizabeth Vigee Lebrun. She is significant, and a lot of people do not know who she is in America. Now, if you live in France, you can bet your butt you know who this is. But all of us in America do not. So, starting with just a little bit here about like the basic beginnings of her life. She was born in Paris in 1755, and her father, Louis Vigee, he was a successful artist, and that is important because it had influence in her introduction to art as a young girl. Now, she did not spend a ton of time with her father in the kind of like, they weren't nobility, but they were kind of upper class-ish. Mm-hmm. They would send the daughters away. So she really only spent a few significant years with her father, I think when she was about 6, 7. And then she got sent away to a convent until she was 11. But then she came back and spent some time with her father and her father's colleagues who were artists. So she did get a little bit of training with some of them. But then her father died when she was 12. Yikes. But she showed extreme promise and skill from a very, very young age. And, had the accessibility through her father and through other tutors where she was encouraged to grow her artistic skill. And by the time she was 14, her portraits were so good that she was already getting paid commissions.
Commissions, yeah.
Yes. So by the time she was 19, she was accepted into the Académie de Saint-Luc, which was very important because if you were not a part of the academy, you really couldn't work as a painter. It was yeah, she was starting to take the commissions, but that really wasn't on the up and up, and she kind of got slapped with as a teenager, like you're not a part of the academy, you can't work, you can't take clients and get paid to be a portrait artist because you're not a part of any academy. So she was finally at 19 accepted into the academy, and she was already so popular that when she applied, they took her right away. I mean, people knew who this girl was because she was that good. Also, she was very, very beautiful. So that was another thing where not only did she have a lot of talent, but her beauty, people would just, she was very easy to remember. And 2 years later, so I guess she was about 21. She married Jean-Baptiste Lebrun, or Lebrun.
Lebrun.
Yeah, and he did dabble in art, but his main thing was he was an art collector and an art dealer. And the two of them had one daughter, Julie Louise, which they would either call Julie or she also had the nickname Brunette.
The little brown, yeah.
Yeah, she did get pregnant a second time, but the child only lived, I think, for like a month or so. Like the baby didn't survive. So Julie was, very close to her through her young life. And then what is this on the bottom? Okay. So after she joined the academy, she started, because she was official as part of the academy, she was really able to start taking commissions from the aristocracy. And she did it very, very well. Even though she was married, a lot of times in France, the way things work is like half the time that you're not even living together and stuff like that. She was very self-sufficient. So she was part of the academy. She was getting wonderful commissions from the nobility. And because of her beauty and her charm, she became extremely in high demand and was making really good money. So for this time, I mean, there were other
groundbreaking. Yeah.
There were other female painters out there, but at this particular time, this was like the beginning of the highest time of her life, was where she, was getting these commissions. And nobility, okay, first of all, portraits were extremely important at this time. Cameras didn't exist. The way that you could,
So is this like classicism, like this era of art?
I'm not sure what you mean. All I know is that it's very realist.
Like throwing back to like classical, like showing reality.
Yeah. Very important. So
not impressionist or anything.
Yes. Yeah. So all the nobility, the way they could, remain, how do they what's that word? Immortalized. That's what it is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So to immortalize yourself, to be remembered, you would want these portraits of yourself or portraits of yourself with your children. And the nobility would pay a lot of money for this. And a lot of times they didn't always like to sit that long. So it was important for Elizabeth that she was very beautiful and charming, so that the nobility actually enjoyed sitting with her for hours to have her do their portrait. So not only was she amazingly gifted and she was very flattering, people loved how they looked when she was done. And not everyone, when you pay for
this is early Photoshop.
She was specifically very flattering and lots of color and romantic, and she just did such a good job. She was doing amazing. So very impressive for so young for her to be able to do all of this. Okay. So, because she was so noticeable,
I did not know she was painted by a woman.
noticeable and beautiful, Miss
Vigee.
Miss Elizabeth, she not only was in 1778 invited to Versailles to do a portrait of Marie Antoinette, she became her favorite portrait artist, and it did over 30 portraits of her within 10 years. So like they were
Probably friends.
They were friends. They definitely were friends. They were about the same age. And a lot of the portraits you see of Marie Antoinette are done by Elizabeth Vigee Lebrun. Lebrun.
Nice.
Yeah. So
yes, yeah, I did not know that at all.
Yes. And I mean, she's done a lot of portraits, but I'm going to show these.
That one on the left, I know.
Highly recognizable. Even if you remember, someone did a portrait of Stephanie in
this style, yeah.
In this specific style. And so, yeah, it's amazing to me that no one knows who she is in America. Or, I mean, maybe some people do, but most of us.
Well, yeah, if you're an art history major, I'm sure you know her.
But she did an amazing job, wonderful portraits. But in this slide, there was this one time that she did this portrait on the lower corner in the white dress.
Mm-hmm.
That was a huge scandal.
It's her underclothes.
Yes, to put the queen in what is
her shift.
This is the white muslin dress portrait, and she did put it up at the Academy for I think only about like a day or two, and it was so like.
And you look, her hair is like barely powdered, so that's like deshabille. That is.
Yeah, everyone was so like, this will not do. But what's interesting is it showed the fact that she really was willing to take risks and do things. And, you know, she was a woman and she still was trying new things and doing things different. But the funny thing is what she did was she redid it. She took that down, redid it. And the portrait on the left, because do you see how similar the position is?
Yeah, the hands are the same.
Yeah, she redid it. And
she probably didn't even need to sit for it. She probably just painted it from her other portrait.
Painted it, yes, correct. So this famous one here on the left is what she redid because everyone was not, all of the artists, all of her contemporaries were like, you can't put this, you can't show this.
Well, the thing is, like, how old was Marie Antoinette when she died? She was not very old, right?
Right. I mean,
and I think people don't realize
they're in their 20s.
Right. You don't realize how old she is. And so that one in the chemise in the white muslin dress, she's looks her age. Whereas the others.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Right. Yes. Okay. So, yeah, I just wanted to show because these are very famous portraits of Marie Antoinette. I mean, if you like Marie Antoinette, I'm sure you've probably, a lot of us might have seen this image, but I just wanted everyone to know this was done by Marie Antoinette's favorite portrait artist, who was a female. And I just want everyone to know her name.
Yeah, she was born in 1755. So in the 1770s, she was only in her early 20s.
Yeah, that's the same year Elizabeth was born. So they're the same age.
Yeah.
And these are more portraits. I believe this one on the right was one of them.
I won't tell you how old she was when she died.
Oh.
37.
Oh, no! Oh, no!
She was in her prime. So I'm not abusing the lower classes. I should be fine.
Yes, but this was one of the earlier portraits I think that she did of her, where she did slightly more realistic before she kind of softened Marie Antoinette's face a little bit, where she still kind of has the a specific kind of short chin.
Hmm.
And you can see how different Marie Antoinette looks there compared to here.
Mm-hmm.
You know, by the time this one was done, it was like, you know, I think Elizabeth
She
would
knew
just,
what she knew. Marie told her what she wanted.
yeah, I don't want this real. I don't.
But look at the width of that dress.
I know it. I know it.
You can put whole magnums of champagne in those.
Mm-hmm.
Are those panniers?
Right.
What those are called?
Right. And for nobility, you know, that was pretty much expected, is, you know, kind of either
Court dress, yeah.
yes, either a court dress, or sometimes it also was popular to draw a person in the likeness of like one of the
Older styles.
goddesses. So like
Yeah.
they would be so and you know, it would be Madam or Duchess someone as Diana the Huntress, you know, and then they would, you know, have a slightly different
Oh yes, the Habsburg chin.
accessories or outfits.
That inbreeding does things to your chin, apparently.
So
Ugh.
these are the portraits that all of us.
I wondered if she was a brunette because, you know.
Maybe. Every single one of us has seen these portraits in our American antique stores. I guarantee you, you have seen these. These are everywhere. And a lot of people don't know that these are actually self-portraits. These,
how did they accomplish a self-portrait? Did they have a big mirror?
I believe that it might be just mirror, like some sort of mirror sketches. I don't know exactly how they did it, but I know, like, this is her with her daughter. This is her and Julie, or Brunette. And
I love how she's dressed. It's very like bohemian, even before you know the bohemian lifestyle was, you know, coined or celebrated.
The one that I framed here on the right, the reason I framed it is because you see this at every antique store. You will find one of these paintings. So Elizabeth Vigee Lebrun is in our world. She's in our zeitgeist as antique lovers. It's just a lot of us don't know what it is, or what, you know. So I just want to get it out there because she's.
But do you notice like her face is lovely, but the detail and the expression of her daughter's face in both of those is way more developed.
Yes. The one on the left, the one that I didn't frame, that one was very highly received among her
peers
at the, you know, showings and the galleries and things of when like all the artists would show what they're up to and what they're doing. This was I'm pretty sure this one was a slightly more in the style, a little bit of like Raphael, if I remember correctly. But what they really appreciated was like what you picked up on, the look on her daughter's face, that the fact that she was able to capture the tenderness of the like maternal mother-child relationship. Everyone loved this. They ate that painting up when she showed it. But you will see this. You guys will see this like on plates.
I will now.
I promise you will. You will see this. But now you know her name. Now you know who this is. And the greatest, the main thing that, you know, that's, you know, she is, her claim to fame is she's Marie Antoinette's portraitist. So in 1783, with the help of Marie Antoinette, at age 28, she became a member of the Royal Academy for Painting and Sculpture, which was the academy to be a part of in France, in Paris. And this was a large achievement because there were only like 15 women that had attained that standing of being a member of this academy. And unfortunately, after the French Revolution, one of the first things they did was abolish female acceptance.
Well, I think they got rid of the Royal Academy, didn't they?
I don't know.
Because, I mean, the monarchy was gone.
The monarchy was
there was
gone,
probably no royal.
We're getting there. Because because Elizabeth lived a long life. So this is her.
Well, she wasn't it. I mean, she benefited from bourgeoisie, but she wasn't a bourgeois. So,
Oh, but she just wait.
I'm sure they weren't happy with her.
Yeah, okay. Yes. But I also really quick
I'm
wanted
excited.
to say that at this time, just because like a little bit of talking about like the differences between the male painters and the female painters, the female painters at this time were only allowed to paint miniatures, still life, or portraits. They were not allowed to paint the coveted historical type portraits, and that is what Elizabeth was very, very interested in. She really wanted to paint those, like the battles and the allegories of this, biblical stories, just all of like the historical paintings that were out there. Women were not allowed at this time to paint those. Not only that, they were not allowed to even study anatomy. They were not allowed to sit and be in the presence of like a male nude. Only the male painters could go to
the live drawing,
the art schools, and do the life model drawing, which was necessary to do historical painting. So basically, it was very rare. Like, women just were not historical painters at this time. They really weren't allowed to be able to go into that.
Probably not. It was probably considered like if they painted men, it probably had to be like their spouse.
But yeah, and the historical paintings were considered the highest echelon. Like if you were a painter of that was the highest pay. That was the most respected as an artist to get. And women were not allowed to have that category as part of their career. They were only allowed to be portrait artists. And although she did do very well, she made her own money, because of all these commissions from the nobles and Marie Antoinette herself. She did very well, but she wasn't able to go farther than portraiture.
Yeah.
Okay. So the revolution happens.
I can say that name if you need me to.
Okay. That's just one beautiful painting that I saw. But basically, so the revolution.
We're going from France to Russia to avoid revolution.
Hold on. Yeah, I'm just going to do it really quick. Basically, this is what happens. Revolution happens. Everyone's thinking, oh, this will pass, but it doesn't. And Elizabeth and her daughter have to flee in the middle of the night because she is so worried about being jailed or worse. And she had to dress as a laborer, took stagecoach by nightfall with her daughter, leaves Paris. And
I wonder how many paintings of hers were lost due to the revolution.
I don't know. I don't know if there was a lot of art that was destroyed during that time.
There was.
Was there?
I mean, there was a lot of statuary that was destroyed.
Oh, but yeah.
And if she had paintings of nobles, they looted their house.
That's very yes, that is. That's, yeah. Where was I? Oh, just really quick. So she leaves Paris and she spends a few years wandering around Europe, like mostly Italy and Vienna. But she eventually, after 4 years or so, she settles in Russia. And Russia is what she considered her second home. She had several friends, noble friends there that she became really close to. And
do you want to know a reason why she could settle very easily in Russia? As a French speaker?
They really liked her. Yeah, and they all spoke French.
Yeah, in the Russian aristocracy, very few of them spoke Russian. They spoke French. French was the language of the court and the language of the bourgeoisie. So the and still to this day there are words in Russian that are actually French words. And they're words that only rich people would use. Like the word for the beach, because peasants don't go to the beach.
Oh.
Plage is the same in French and in Russian. Etage, which is the word for floor,
Uh-huh.
because you ain't gonna have multiple floors in your house unless you're very wealthy. So
Mhm.
there are others,
Yes.
but I
Well,
digress.
I mean, yeah, and she did so well. I think also it was just hard for her to maintain, her career. Like she really had to work harder, once she, escaped and was in exile in Italy and Europe. She still had recognition. People respected her because of her history and her career. She was very well known. But I think it was just also a little harder to maintain that she wasn't having like a constant roll of French people coming in. So being an artist is tough. You have to like keep pedaling and being. And they said that she would like draw a portrait, roll it up, and then go to like a new city and then like try to visit and show people what she could do. And she show them, this is what I can do. And she had to still really work hard to maintain a lifestyle for herself.
Yeah, Jan, they were all intermarried and such.
Yeah. I did pick a few portraits of some of the ones she did in Russia.
Varvara Ladomirsky.
Isn't that it's just so pretty. I thought that was.
Varvara, I love that word. I have a friend named Varvara.
And then these were some other ones that I chose of some of her work in Russia. And of course during this time she finds out that Marie Antoinette has died. And this is her. So this was a time where it's darker for her. She starts having bouts of depression and things like that. But she also has issues with her daughter. Unfortunately, her daughter wanted to marry or did marry an Italian that was living in Russia. There was some sort of separation in Russia between her and her daughter, which is very unfortunate. I consider that very sad, being the single mother of a very precious daughter. That I just when I heard that, I was just like, oh no, it's so sad.
You're right, Beth. Princess Galitzine does look like Cher.
Oh, yeah, she does kind of look like Cher.
Hey, Peg.
Hey, Biggie. So just some more, just beautiful. I mean, she did beautiful, beautiful work. And she was exiled from Paris for, I think, a total of 12 or 13 years. But in 1802, she decides to go back home. And unfortunately, she finds out that France is very much changed since she left. And she has a really hard time adjusting. So for a while, she goes to London and tries to find work in London, where she does paint a few important figures. I found this portrait of Lord Byron. I could not find one in color, which I kept trying to find, but I couldn't. And I guess, another George the Fourth before he became king. But
he looks more compelling in that picture than I've seen him in others.
Well, she was good at her job. She really, did some romantic work on folks, I think.
I can see why people were in love with him from that picture.
So, but eventually she lived in London for a while because she was having a really hard time adjusting. But eventually she came back home to Paris in, what was that, 1805. So just as a culmination, she died in 1842. So she was like 87 years old. And she did write a memoir, which is how a lot of historians know about her life, because she did pen her own memoir of her life. And according to her own account, she painted 900 pictures. Over 600 of them were portraits. And these two portraits here on the bottom are very, very famous self-portraits without her daughter. The most popular and well received during the time where Marie Antoinette was alive and well, and everything was flourishing and happy under the royalist regime. This self-portrait of her on the right, with the straw hat, it's specifically known as the straw hat portrait.
Yeah.
Was very, very famous and very, very well loved. So well loved that she used this straw hat in other portraits of other people. That they enjoyed this. It was very unique. No one else had done the straw hat thing, I guess. She really was kind of a trendsetter when it came to fashion and things. So this was a super like trend that she kind of started with her self-portrait. And you will see this hat in other portraits that she has done of other
I
noble
wonder
women.
how old she is in the one on the left. She looks quite young.
She does look really young, but I still think it's probably in her 20s. I don't think it's when she was a teenager or anything.
Yeah.
I mean, I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure it just looks younger to me.
Yeah.
I agree, it does look younger. But this one on the right, she's very young. She's still in her like
Yeah.
20s here. So
Yeah. That's super interesting.
yes. So yeah, if you're gonna remember Vigee Lebrun, or you can also call her Madame Lebrun, if you're gonna know her most famous portraits, is a lot of them were just
I think I need her on my fancy lady wall.
Marie Antoinette. But also, but I think like just for your mind is the straw hat on the right, and the self portraits of her with her daughter.
With her daughter.
Those are ones that we will see, and you're gonna see her at an antique store and just say, "I know who painted that."
My figure. Thank you. I enjoyed that a lot. Thanks, Joyce. Just one original. That's all I need.
Oh, I also did link a kind of like similar to a French version of like a History Channel type of a movie on her life. I linked it in the description of our chat of our thing. So if you want to like visually see what I just explained to you, you can watch that. There are commercials, but it's free. You can watch it, and it's dubbed. So even though it's interviews with French, art historians, it's dubbed so you can understand it.
Well, do you want to make us big?
Oh yes.
So,
oh wait, there we go.
Oh hi.
Oh, let's make you big. Let's. How do we?
You can share. You can share with me.
I can share with you. Okay.
Yeah. So, y'all know I've had a trying couple weeks, and the other day I went to check my mail, and there were 2 packages in it that I did not buy. So I just figured tonight y'all can discover it with me. So this first one came from Miss Pat of Pat Doodles. A gift from Leanne. This is from Leanne.
Oh,
A crafty kitty vintage. This is basically our favorite things portion because I guarantee I'm gonna like it.
what did she pick out for you? I want to know. Ooh, hold it closer. Is that a trivet?
It's a trivet. It's like a little person.
That is so cool.
I think it needs to live like right on top right there.
Yes.
For those who don't know, one of the very first B&Bs we did, I showed these pictures of trivet walls, and so I started my own, and Leanne sent me this.
That's awesome.
It's me.
That's awesome.
I'm gonna have to put it up there. Oh.
Yeah, that is a good one, Joyce.
And then this came from some person called Antique Agenda.
Weird.
It's heavy. It says you have lovely friends. And this is true. I won't read it out loud. This is from Sheila via Heather. I have no idea what this is. Y'all, I'm gonna cry, so just be forewarned. I love that ribbon. Well, it's from some Asian something. No way! This was on your drop sale. Look at that lady.
Yay.
I couldn't tell what it was. And I was trying to watch your sale while I was at PopCon. And of course, but I couldn't hear anything because the cosplay competition was happening.
Mm.
She's so cool. Look at her. I need face jewelry like this.
Yes, we are very sneaky.
Thank you, Sheila. Thank you, Heather. Oh, she's so neat. I don't have to put her somewhere awesome. I might have to go buy that mirrored shelf.
Oh, yeah.
From that one antique store and start a fancy lady trinket collection. Thank you so much. Well, now.
Oh, yeah. She does look like she has mystical powers.
I think so. She's some kind of priestess. I guarantee it. She's going to bring me good luck. I have a feeling. And so now we can go to my quote.
Oh, let's go to a quote. Yes.
And it's appropriate. Of all possessions, a friend is the most precious.
Oh, that's perfect!
And that's by Herodotus. And if you don't know who Herodotus is, he was like the first historian of ancient Greece, who actually like studied and wrote down historical happenings, among other things. He was also a geographer, etc. But and then this is a picture of Greece, so it just felt it felt appropriate. Thanks everybody for coming. I had a great time this evening.
Yes, it was fun. I'm really glad, Angela, that you liked hearing about the painter.
She was very cool. I'm gonna have to, because I know my history blurb from last week was very short, but I'm gonna have to come up with something very special for next week. Well, we shall see. We shall see. And next Monday we'll be on my channel.
Yes.
It should be an exciting time.
Yay.
As it always is.
Yes. Thanks everyone for hanging out. I know it went a little bit over our normal hour chat, but
what happens when I feel well, you know? I haven't talked to people in too long. Yes. See you all in the chats. Have a fabulous week. And we will see you next time.
Yes. Wonderful night. Hugs and kisses to all of you. Thanks so much. Nighty night. Oh, end broadcast. There we go.